Welcome to the third episode of Movies, Cards, and the Stars, Edward Scissorhands. I'm a screenwriter, remote viewer, and consigliere. You can learn more about me on my various websites, theartigan.com, Watch Natalie on YouTube, Watch Natalie on TikTok, and patreon.com/theartigan. If you'd like a free way to be part of the club, you can subscribe to the YouTube channel and TikTok and turn on the notifications. Lastly, please make sure to watch the films before listening to my podcast series. I don't like spoilers, and I can't have that hanging over my head. The themes we'll explore in today's meditation are spoken both loudly and softly in Timburton's classic masterpiece surrounding a central figure, Edward Scissorhands. The film begins as a story of a grandmother telling a story of a man who had scissors for hands, and we are immediately launched from the mundane reality and into the stratosphere of imagination, possibility, and the patinated past. One feeling, one emotion contains terabytes of cosmic information and is the only way so much information can be understood in an instant. Edward Scissorhands is a rare figure in the story who can operate entirely on a nonverbal level because of both his capacity to convey through his behavior and the purity of his spirit. When we are being truthful and honest, our body behaves honestly. When we are lying to ourselves or others, the body resists the verbal lies and compensates. This energy of truth must express itself, and if the conscious awareness denies it, will do so in subtle subconscious ways. This is the essence of reading body language, for anyone who wants to know. Edward, being so honest, so sincere, and authentic, is the catalyst of the film throughout. It's his purity that is his authenticity, uniqueness, individuality. It is his purity that attracts other good hearts like Peg, who brings him to live with her family, a monumental decision that she idealistically makes in a mere moment. And it is his purity that attracts those who wish to degrade any expression of purity, honesty, or genuine sweetness. This core essence of Edward, to me, is clearly Uranus in astrology. Uranus rules the sign of Aquarius. So if you have any Uranian, Aquarius, or 11th house placements, this podcast episode could help you feel more understood at a core level. Uranus is vibration, frequency, and behavior. Uranian energy is only misunderstood when it's in the wrong place. When Uranian energy is in its proper place, is fruitfully expressed, understood, and deeply appreciated. When we perceive something or someone as being weird, wacky, unconventional, or bizarre, the judgment immediately alienates us from the understanding that would bridge our vibe with their vibe. Edward's purity put him in a whole other vibratory frequency, and thus he behaved differently. Having scissors for hands isn't what made him different. It was his purity of spirit and his heart staying open regardless of pain, betrayal, or loss. In the tarot, the Fool immediately comes into resonance with Edward for me. The Fool is the 0th of the major arcana and depicts a youth about to step off the edge of a precipice. He symbolizes the life force before it enters into manifestation, or the soul before it enters a physically manifested body. Therefore, he represents inexperience, which at times can of course be foolish. I see Edward on such a precipice when Peg enters his home to try and make a sale, and instead decides she's going to take him home. Because they're both good at heart, he trusts her and goes with her. Edward entering town is the Fool finally stepping down into embodiment, or leaping off the precipice. In town, the Uranian energy, Aquarian energy, Fool energy plays out. The youth in the Fool card in the tarot is about to pass into a cycle of life through which each soul must journey and face unknown possibilities of self-expression. They stand on spiritual heights. It's easy to be a soul in heaven. It's easy for Edward to live in his Gothic mansion where his vibration is sustained constantly. It's easy to be alone, on your own, and exactly who you really are. The Fool card in the tarot would have come up if Edward had a tarot reading the morning Peg came. When you get such a card in yours, it could indicate you're about to begin a wholly new adventure, one that will require you to keep your spiritual strengths and memory of cosmic truth, the one that human embodiment wiped as a form of amnesia, so that you begin from zero. This is the test of true memory. Every ending has within it a beginning of something else, and every beginning has within it an important, necessary ending that had to occur. So although you may begin a new adventure, you are tasked with making the right decisions along the way. When Edward enters town, doing the right thing is natural for him, for his heart is pure. Aquarian and Uranian folk find it quite natural to be as they are, even if that's perceived as strange or uncommon to everyone else. Every individual's life is such an adventure, and we have many lived experiences on our paths meant to elevate and improve lower forms of life, lower, denser vibration, and unconscious manifestation of past life karma expressing itself in our current lifetimes. We're meant to learn, alchemize, grow, outgrow, and continue towards our spiritual, physical zenith. The only warning with the Fool card in the tarot is to be careful to make the right choices on your new adventure. If someone thinks that when ignorance is bliss, 'tis folly to be wise, then they are indeed a fool. For every one of us must journey forward and choose between good and evil. If we have no philosophy, we are all fools. Edward, carrying a higher frequency of spiritual purity within him, entering town, is a clear example of 11th house energy of astrology, which governs group mentality, what you would describe as your people, as they are your allies, your supporters, your friends, your fans. It's the people you surround yourself with by choice. When Edward brings his higher vibration to the neighborhood, there's an immediate challenge to the townsfolk to be lighter, purer, to rise in understanding in order to really know Edward, communicate with him, and bond with him. Because of his extended time alone, Edward wouldn't have been able to assemble and lower his vibration to convincingly fit in with the town. This is called energetic entrainment, by the way, when two sources of energy come into a relationship, a bond, an entanglement, whichever adjectives accurately qualifies the nature of the connection. They must exist in the same vibrational frequency. The struggle is that one has to change to accommodate the other, or they meet, finding a common vibe. So, initially, the townsfolk were curious and mostly kind. An aspect I would choose for Edward Scissorhands would definitely be Venus-Uranus connection. The entire aesthetic of Timburton has a Venus-Uranus feel. Venus rules beauty, love, harmony, peace, attraction, attracting, and feeling good. When blending Venus and Uranus and it goes well, we have the fantastical montage of the community embracing Edward wholeheartedly at his successful barbecue debut, leading the townsfolk to not only appreciate Edward's uniqueness, but at one time even pedestaling him for it. This is really a dream for anyone who has Iranian influences. Edward's ability being so loved when the town is so happy with his topiary, dog grooming, and hairstyling brilliance due to his deformity is classic Venus-Uranus. It's what every Uranian-influenced individual desires deep down, to be authentically and wholeheartedly understood and appreciated for their uniqueness. The 11th house sign, planetary ruler, planets within the 11th house, and aspects will tell you more about the people that will appreciate you in such a way, and when you can expect to see periods of change in your circles, or more appreciation coming through connecting with, meeting new people, groups, and associations. When Venus-Uranus blend and it doesn't go well, when the Fool in the tarot makes the wrong choice that goes against purity, peace, love, and truth, or when the above-mentioned astrological indicators are negatively stressed, we see the beautiful tragedy unfold. Venus-Uranus can also attract in a lewd, licentious, and impure fashion those who specifically want to destroy what's pure. The way Jim, Kim's boyfriend in the film, antagonizes Edward until he full-on sets him up as a criminal, preys on Edward's good heart to scapegoat him and drive misunderstanding. The very purity of Edward's nature is the very thing that's preyed upon if not protected, and can be purposefully degraded in unexpectedly cruel ways. We then observe the welcoming and accepting energy turning on itself. This is the ultimate story of the wounded, misunderstood outcast, rejected by society and alienated. Anger is a necessary emotion that we need. The purpose of anger is to alert us. It's a full-fledged alarm system we're born with as human creatures. When the anger emotion comes up, it's telling us our boundaries are being pushed on or inappropriately crossed. Anger that's unjustified is when the anger emotion comes up and our boundaries are not being pushed on and not inappropriately crossed. So when the anger emotion comes up, you must ask yourself if this is factually happening in the moment or if it's not. If it's not, you'll have to question yourself to find the truth behind why the emotion is coming up. Edward's turning point is when the anger emotion comes up, and that happens when he tells Kim he knew it was Jim's house they were breaking into, and before she can respond, Jim shows up in the backyard and calls to her. She goes to Jim immediately out of her own anger. He's angry that he betrayed the purity boundary of his own heart, that he knew it was Jim's house and helped them break in anyway. He's angry that Kim dismisses their conversation about it to go to Jim. He's angry that he broke his boundary for someone who doesn't even appreciate it. The downward spiral continues as the once welcoming community became the mob mentality. In part driven by Jim, who has the most hatred of Edward, Venus-Uranus can tempt the desecration of something beautiful. By the end of the film, the process of energetic entrainment is resolved. The Fool in the tarot has been through much earthly experience, and Venus-Uranus catalyzes the last meaningful, surprising change in this round. Edward upholds his and Kim's boundary against a truly diabolical, evil boyfriend and kills Jim. He and Kim get the final resolution they both need, full of closure, love, and acceptance. Kim protects Edward's boundary against the town by saying he and Jim killed each other. The town resume their normal lives in their own vibe, and Edward resumes his normal life in his own vibe. There's a beautiful bridge at the end. How Edward and Kim, and to some extent the town, maintain a magical bond despite being so vibrationally different so as to need to exist in two separate worlds. There's a special, unique way for them to connect somewhere on the bandwidth to pass a specific signal of purity to each other. Through snow. When he sculpts ice, the town gets snow. Message sent, message received. From one world to the other. From then on, the Venus-Uranus will manifest as Edward's surprise at his own inspiration to sculpt, and Kim's surprise when it snows. The last important note on Venus, Uranus, Aquarius, 11th house, and the Fool in the Tarot is the necessity and safety of independence, self-reliance, and the space within all relationships necessary for true intimacy to occur. The Fool in the Tarot must journey that path alone. Uranian dominant people must find a way to stay true to who they are and find the right people who will accept, understand, and celebrate them. The 11th house must form a group of individuals who all elect to participate out of their own free will, because the bond is a choice. The connection is a choice. And that makes all the difference. I hope that you've enjoyed this week's meditation. I'll be back next Wednesday with another episode. Please let me know your movie requests in the comments below on the YouTube channel Watch Natalie, spelled WATCHNATALEE. We'll pick a new movie next week to meditate on how it connects to tarot and astrology for a fun and easy way to elevate our overall understanding of ourselves, our lives, and each other. Until then, I wish you many magical blessings upon all of your magical heads, darlings. Mwah.